Wait me, don't you?
Tune in to Kons podcast.
j.cole, you know what I'm saying? j.cole being on the press run recently, you know what I'm saying? Recently released his album The Fall Off. I ain't mad at him for apologizing and backing out of the beef, you know what I mean? It just would have been a sign of me when he really felt like probably a slave. Or cocaine and painkillers. They've been running a test on some sharks out in the Bahamas, and they found cocaine and high degrees of painkillers. Sharks been in the water in the Bahamas getting high off tourists dumping stuff, drug cartels dumping flushes. Artemis is launching today, you know what I'm saying? Going to the moon. We allegedly, you know what I mean? With 4 astronauts, 1 Canadian, 1 black man, and 1 woman. All history in space travel. We don't know, you know what I mean? Why we going back? We're supposed to have been out there 50-something years ago, you know what I'm saying? Already, now they want to put a base out there. What's going on? What's happening? You know what I'm saying? It's Kons Podcast, episode 375, you know what I mean? Episode 375. Got a few little topics for you today, you know what I mean? On this good Wednesday, middle of the week, you know what I'm saying? Hope all y'all been doing good, having a good week, you know what I mean? We at the middle point, middle of the week on this good hump day, on this good Wednesday, you know what I'm saying? It is April 1st. Hopefully y'all ain't getting too many April Fool's Day pranks played on y'all today, you know what I mean? It is April 1st, April Fool's Day, 2:49 in the afternoon, you know what I'm saying? But thank all y'all for tuning in, thank all y'all for tuning in, though. This your first time, you know what I'm saying? This is where we go over the news, go over the headlines, go over whatever headline you might have seen, whether you've seen your headline on MSNBC News, Google News, Yahoo News, Hip Hop DX, wherever it is that you see your headlines, are probably touching on 1, 2, 3 of them right here on Kons Podcast, you know what I'm saying? So share it out, tell a friend about it, tell your people about it, tell everybody about it, you know what I mean? Let me keep you updated in this wicked world, you know what I'm saying? Just got a few little topics today, you know what I mean? Definitely gonna touch on this j.cole, even on this press run, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna get into a little bit of that. Definitely gonna touch on some cocaine and painkillers been found tested in some sharks out in the Bahamas. Also, we're gonna touch on Artemis. Today is supposed to be the launch day where they sending people to the moon, you know what I mean? That's everything we gotta be touching on today, you know what I'm saying? So without no more further ado, without more chit chat, banter, you know what I'm saying? Let's jump right into these topics, you feel me? So j.cole, you know what I'm saying? j.cole being on the press run recently, you know what I'm saying? Recently released his album The Fall Off after Kons was threatening to sue him over the song, you know what I'm saying? Over some song they had, he was threatening to sue him, he threatening to sue him back, and so on. So j.cole pulled up on Kons.
I don't know what may happen next session. What's up, man?
I'm just saying, like, a lawsuit, bro.
Lawyers? You know, it wasn't like that.
Saying, bro,
He dapped up after that, you know what I'm saying, the hug, you know what I mean, before sitting down doing the interview, you know what I mean, and Cole was asked about how he felt about the lawsuit.
Looking out the room. So, when you first seen the lawsuit, what was your emotion when you see it?
I was like hurt, almost disappointed, like, cause I got so much respect for you, you know what I mean? And I look at you like I know you are as a stand-up person. When a lawsuit come out, I'm like, come on, Cam. Right. And only because it was like, in my mind, I'm like, bro, you really could have hit me. Like, although it was taking a long time, I don't give a fuck if you would have called me and been like, yo, nigga, what the like you could have scraped on me, we could have argued, boom, boom. I would have preferred that than the other way, because I was just like, damn, Cam, like it never got to that point where you couldn't like holler at me or whatever. Right. So my first thing was disappointment, and my first thought was like, fuck it then, like this nigga ain't even know I was still gonna come to his show. Right. My first gut reaction, like, damn, and it's like misinformation, the lawsuit itself, and you know the internet running with it. People hit me like, yo, what's going on with the Cam shit, boom, boom. So like my ego reaction is like, all right, quietly I'm like, man, fuck this nigga, boom, boom. Right. But quickly I'm like, but nah. Like, I get it though. Let me put myself in his shoes. Like, yo, the nigga feel like he was getting the runaround. You know what I mean? He don't know you for real. And Cam Mine is probably like, I seen this movie before. Right. You don't fuck with me. You don't want to do the favor. You trying to drag me out until I don't want to do it no more. Right. All right, nigga, bet. And I got one in the chamber. Right. I never signed that paperwork for that fucking for that verse. So here you go, boom, just to like hit me in the rib. You know what I mean? And it's like, I still said in my mind, I was like, yo, I'ma still go see Cam.
And which, of course, it was never going to go nowhere. But for me, it was more like, I need to get this.
About some fight between J.Cole and Diddy. You know what I'm saying? He was also asked about that. Didn't really say what happened, you know what I'm saying? But he said he didn't want to bring it out to kick a man while he was down, he said. You know what I'm saying? This was after Diddy had got sentenced.
Explain that.
Nah, you know what? I damn near wish I could because it's such an ill story.
Right.
You know what I mean? But matter of fact, we did a podcast, me and Eve,
okay,
like a year and a half ago, where we kind of ran through like the first part of my career up until Forest Hills Drive.
Right.
And we had a bonus episode that was the whole episode was just about that night.
Okay.
And that altercation, right?
Right.
And we was gonna put it out because at that time, you know what I mean? Like me and Puff, like we hadn't had no problem for years. Even after that, like it was cleaned up quick and we was in a good spot.
Right.
But you know, Puff was on the song that I had on off season, and like, so we was gonna put it out thinking like, yo, it's cool. Like enough time has passed, he ain't gonna feel no way, boom, boom, boom.
Right.
And then all the shit happened with him.
Right.
And I was just like, nah, it felt like damn near like kicking a man when he's down. Like, you know what I mean? It was like it would have gave the news in the world more ammo.
I got you saying.
Just destroy this dude.
Yeah, it wasn't a good time to put it out.
It wasn't a good time. So similarly, right now it's like I want to tell it because it's ill, but I'm like, nah.
But it did happen.
In this one interview, he was asked about if he would collab with Drake or Kendrick.
It has definitely had those shit. Had to be different than it was, 10 years ago, a couple years ago now.
Talking about the relationship?
Yeah, with
on
Drake
my side, no, I actually don't know.
Really?
Like on my side, absolutely not. Okay. You know what I mean? Like I feel the same way, but I can't. A relationship is two ways, so I actually couldn't sit here and tell you like I don't know how they feel about about me. You know what I mean? I can genuinely tell you that.
Okay,
you know but for me, it's the same.
So if there was a olive branch to be reached between all three, you know what I'm saying? Like, would you be the
all
one
three?
Yeah.
Like all ways of the three?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of feel like there's a connective tissue between the two.
I would love that, but I don't know if Drake and Kendrick ever
find their way. But like, you know what I'm saying? You seem like the person who's kind of like Switzerland in the situation.
Oh yeah, I mean, but I would love that. You know what I mean? But I don't foresee it. Maybe in time, or something. You know what I mean? Not speaking for myself. I'm just putting myself in their shoes. Just like I don't know.
I
don't know. And maybe they, I don't know.
I mean, listen, we've lived through a lot of great rap beefs over the years, and almost all of them we've eventually saw some sort of reconciliation, some sort of something with it together. We see it with Jan.
Yeah, I would love it. But I would love it.
We've seen it with a lot of people, and you'd love to see it, but again,
yeah, I would love to see it. It would be a beautiful day.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean, for hip hop, and I think if for the world, if we got to see that moment, you know what I mean. I think, but. If I had to put money on it,
don't see it.
Not no time soon.
Yeah.
Maybe not at a time where we all like that shit'll heal the world right now.
Yeah, I think so.
You know what I mean? Like that shit'll do a lot right now. Like 5 years from now, I don't know if we gonna love to see it at any time.
Of course.
But right now it's like, yo.
Because every combination of y'all three made incredible music together, no matter when it was,
Not for sure. I mean, yes, I agree with that.
During this press run, also Cam asked him about how he felt on the beef between K-Dot and Drake.
Spiraled out of control. How do you feel? Because I know both of these.
I feel like it's weird for me because I damn near feel like the only person in the world. And of course, I don't know if this is true or not, but when I really analyze the situation, I'm like, damn, I feel like the only person in the world. It's almost like it's a much more mild example, but it's the only way I could think about it. I'm like, I think of Dale Curry. Like, imagine Seth Curry was the star basketball player for whoever the team he was on, the Hornets.
Right.
And then Steph was the star player for the Warriors, and they met in the finals.
Right.
And then Dale has to watch, he has to watch this battle. And somebody got to come out a quote unquote loser. Somebody got to come out a winner. It's like, I'm the world right away. The world became like politics. You either Democrat or Republican. You either Kendrick or you Drake, and you got to pick a side. Boom, boom. And I felt like the nigga that was like disgusted both ways, damn near. You know what I mean? So when you say did it get out of hand, it's like creatively, that's not my place to say.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that's definitely not my place to say. I'm a nigga that apologized. So it's not my place to come in and say like, oh, such and such shouldn't have said boom, 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 boom. Like that's not my place. But I think the out of hand that I think is like world reaction, specifically like it's
to me, it's like disgusting how people try to use that opportunity to like either show how they really felt about Drake the whole time,
right,
or just like pile on
that's a fact,
and right, tear this dude down and like create a narrative as if he's not great or as if he's not fucking amazing or stellar. It's like, yo, if you want to keep it, if you really want to keep it hip hop and boom boom, nigga, judge it on the merits of the battle. Right. Don't discredit. You know what I mean? And I feel like it was a whole campaign, and probably still is to this day. Right. Of like belittling and tearing down what this dude built as if it was some shit we have never seen.
You know what I'm saying? That was just clips of his little press run talking about the Drake thing, talking about how he felt about it and all this and that, if he would collab with him, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. I still respect J.Cole. A lot of people was hating on him for apologizing, backing out, you know what I mean? He did do a diss track and then deleted it, so a lot of fans was confused, you know what I mean? But he was being pressured by his peers, as he said, you know what I'm saying? He was being pressured by people around him to respond and this and that, you know what I'm saying? But that ain't even him. We ain't never really heard J.Cole come at nobody sideways or make a diss track about nobody, you know what I mean? We ain't never really heard that from Cole, you know what I'm saying? So I ain't mad at him for apologizing and backing out of the beef, you know what I mean? It just would have been a sign of me, wouldn't he? He would have felt like probably a slave or, you know what I'm saying, selling his soul, you know what I mean, for doing something like that, because we all know J.Cole don't really do things of that nature, you know what I mean? Still respect him, you know what I'm saying? I still listen to his music, still definitely, The Fall Off is a dope album, definitely still listen to that. He still do his thing, you know what I mean? I still respect J.Cole, you know what I'm saying? J.Cole is definitely still a respected artist in my book, still a top tier lyricist, you know what I'm saying? Cocaine and painkillers have been running a test on some sharks out in the Bahamas, and they found cocaine and high degrees of painkillers was found in their blood after researching, you know what I'm saying? As to what is causing this, they say it's from tourists dumping things in the water or from drug cartels, you know what I'm saying? But the sharks have been tested positive cocaine and other drugs. They also said it could be coming from toilet flushes as well, you know what I'm saying? The next clip you're gonna hear more on these sharks being high in the water, you know what I'm saying? More clips on this. Check it out.
On something a little stronger than fish. Scientists have found some of them are testing positive to cocaine and caffeine. Yes, apex predators now apparently running on stimulants. Researchers found the substances in sharks in the Bahamas after testing their muscle and liver tissue. But it's not coming from smugglers at sea, it is from human pollution. Things like wastewater, drug residue, and even what we flush down the toilet.
Over cocaine bear. Another animal is dipping its toes, or rather fins, in the deep end. A new study shows 2 sharks in the Bahamas tested positive for cocaine, a juvenile lemon shark and a Caribbean reef shark. The study's authors say this is likely the first ever report of cocaine observed in sharks in the Bahamas. Researchers also found traces of caffeine and even painkillers in the blood of other sharks in the area. Out of the 85 sharks tested, 28 had contaminated blood. According to the study, the chemicals could lead to some behavioral changes. The findings are raising concerns about the rise of pollution and what scientists say are otherwise pristine ecosystems. The study also suggests that tourism in the area is likely contributing to more chemicals in the water.
That was just news clips letting you know that cocaine and high methamphetamines and pills and all this type of stuff, drug painkillers been found in the sharks. Sharks been in the water in the Bahamas getting high off tourists dumping stuff, drug cartels dumping flushing stuff down the drain. But you go into the sharks and they've been eating it up in the water, I guess. You know what I mean? This was crazy to see. Definitely had to share this out. You know what I'm saying? The sharks is high out there in the Bahamas waters, getting high off that good cocaine. You know what I'm saying? Damn, a bear on cocaine like the movie. They said these are sharks high on coke. You know what I'm saying? They have painkillers. I mean, sharks is in the water swimming. You feel me? Hiding a mother. I thought this was funny. You know what I mean? Definitely had to share this out. You know what I'm saying? Artemis, yo. What's happening? If you enjoying this content and you enjoying this constant motherfucking content that Kons podcast is bringing, then go on and hit that subscribe button. You know what I mean? Go on and do that. in the middle of this video, in the middle of me adding on and do that shit right now. You feel me? Hit that subscribe button right now. Artemis is launching today. You know what I'm saying? Going to the moon.
We've begun the countdown for the Artemis 2 mission, which will send 4 astronauts to the moon for the first time in over 50 years. The 10-day journey will take them farther from Earth than anyone has ever travelled before. A key goal is to capture images of the moon's south pole, where the next human landing and future lunar base is planned. The mission was delayed twice earlier this year, but NASA says that only weather could hold up the liftoff. But if the launch is scrapped, backup windows are available for the next 5 years.
Allegedly, you know what I mean? With 4 astronauts, 1 Canadian, 1 black man, and 1 woman. All history in space travel. It has never been. That's never been before. Never been a Canadian going to the space, going to the moon. Never been a woman, and never been a black man. You know what I'm saying? Going out to the moon. This is which have never been done before. The mission is to eventually have a base on the moon for research purposes. So they say this was a news. So they say, you know what I'm saying? This was a news clip on Artemis.
The launch of Artemis 2, if all goes as planned, at this time tomorrow, we will be tracking a space capsule beginning its voyage to the moon and beyond with 4 astronauts on board. Senior national correspondent Mark Strassman joins us now from the Kennedy Space Center in Florida with everything we need to know. Mark, good evening.
Good evening, Tony. NASA's updated forecast here held at 80% favorable. Not a guarantee of a launch tomorrow night, but promising. NASA's now working an Artemis 2 checklist almost as long as this rocket. 500 launch criteria. All need a green light to make tomorrow a go for launch. For a last-minute crisis, Charlie Blackwell-Thompson, the launch director, showed us her abort panel. Pressing this red button would eject capsule and crew safely into the Atlantic Ocean. Your hand lives very close to that red button for the last 5 minutes.
Yes, it does.
Because every second counts. By tomorrow night, the Orion capsule could launch into low Earth orbit. Then it's off to the moon for a 9-day, 500,000-mile round trip. The capsule will curl around the moon's far side, head back to Earth, and splash down near San Diego.
This is the opening act in a series of missions that will send astronauts to and from the moon with great frequency.
NASA Administrator Jared Isaacman talked to us about the top mission priority.
You've got 4 very brave astronauts that know that they are taking risks beyond any astronaut has ever done since 1972. So we want to bring our crew home safely.
Have you had chats with them, texted with them?
I text them all the time. You need DoorDash, you need donuts, you need coffee, I'm here for you.
Only 24 people have ever seen the moon's far side, all of them American men. Christina Cook is about to become the first woman. She'll space travel with 3 other people in a capsule the size of 2 minivans. What do you think that's going to be like?
It'll be a little tight. Imagine a small RV and a road trip for 10 days that you can't hop out of. But I think that's something that we train for.
Tony, getting to the moon will take 4 days. Once this crew pushes past the moon's far side, they could travel farther from Earth than anyone in space history. Tony?
Mark, very excited. Thank you very much. And I'll be joining Mark at the Kennedy Space Center tomorrow. If liftoff is a go, we will have a special report starting at 6 p.m.
On Artemis, this is the 4 astronauts speaking on when they first got the call for this Artemis mission.
Building on an already solid legacy. If we look backwards in time just a little bit, right now our crews are on the International Space Station learning how to truly work off of the planet. How does the human body perform? How do we resupply this International Space Station? These are lessons that will be critical on the moon and as we look forward.
When I first found out that I was assigned to Artemis 2, my thoughts were disbelief, an immense sense of honor and responsibility, and readiness. I'm ready to try to make everyone proud and to really fulfill what this mission truly means to all humanity.
When the president of the Kons Space Agency called me and officially proclaimed to me that I would be flying on Artemis 2, and then sharing that with my wife and 3 kids was also a very special moment for me, watching their excitement as I pursue a dream of mine.
As a crew, the 4 of us and our backup are going to spend a lot of time not just learning the vehicle, learning the systems and making sure the procedures are ready, but we're also going to be doing everything we can to build that team, that camaraderie between the 4 of us to make sure that we're ready to support the mission, but also to support each other.
We are on a trajectory to land our crew on the moon at the South Pole by 2028. And I think that puts us ahead of any others that are trying to land crew on the moon. We're also going to the South Pole where no one has ever been before. And this time we're not just going for a few visits. We really do intend to stay at the South Pole. What we want to do is build a lunar base. Our administrator, Jared Isaacman, just laid out last week an amazing plan where we're going to start building up the infrastructure with regular landings on the moon starting in next year.
Wait, you know what I'm saying? That was the 4 people that's going to be going up there, allegedly. You know what I mean? We don't know if this is true or not. You know what I'm saying? We don't know. Don't know. You know what I mean? Why we going back? We're supposed to have been out there 50-something years ago. You know what I'm saying? Already. Now they want to put a base out there. I done heard it was already bases on the moon. You know what I'm saying? I heard it was already structures and stuff like that on the moon. You know what I mean? So they supposed to go around the moon and come back and splash down somewhere in San Diego, they said. You know what I mean? So I don't know if this is true or not. If they really gonna be going to the moon or no, we just never know. With the type of tech that they have with AI tech and things looking so real, we don't know what's real. You know what I'm saying? Who knows what type of video they're gonna be putting together or we're gonna see, you know what I mean, of deception. You know what I'm saying? Because they big on deception. They big on showing you B when it's really A. You know what I mean? Or showing you C when it's really B. You know what I mean? However way you want to put it, they big on showing you something that it ain't. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's a lot of YouTube channels is gonna be following this and following the live launch of the rocket and all this and that, and people was excited. I don't know. You know what I mean? I really wasn't hype about it, you know what I'm saying? Because I know they full of deception and they tell us one thing and it could be a whole nother, especially with all the tech they got. And they can make this look as real as it gets, you know what I mean? And we'll just never know. So I'm just not finna just go with what they say, you know what I mean? I don't know. Going to the moon, I mean, I feel like personally, for what? You know what I'm saying? We want bases of research for what on the moon, you know what I mean? I don't understand it, you know what I'm saying? But hey, that's, I guess, for the sake of science, you know what I'm saying? Let's go to the moon and research and build bases and have the life form out there, man. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? It launched today, though. You know what I'm saying? Artemis launched today. For those of you just excited about it, you know what I mean? You can tune in to one of these YouTube channels, you know what I'm saying? The show is going to be covered live, you know what I mean? But yeah, that's all I got for today, though. You know what I mean? Thank all y'all for tuning in. Thank all y'all for watching, you know what I mean? Thank you for watching. Let me keep you updated on this wicked world, you know what I mean? I usually go through a little recap real quick, you know what I'm saying? In case you might have pulled up, in case you might have rolled up, in case you got too loaded, in case you got too drunk, or you heard some commotion going on outside or upstairs, you had to step away and go see what was happening. You stepped away from the podcast, you know what I mean? In case you might have missed these 3 little topics we went over, this is everything I just let you know. We talked about j.cole on his little press run, a few little interviews he did, questions he was asked about Drake and if he would collab and this and that. I mean, he talked to Cam, did a bunch of little interviews, covered that. Also let you know the cocaine and painkillers has been found in the shark's bloodstream out in the Bahamas. They've been out there getting high in the water. Also, Artemis is launching today, going to the moon. Let's go out there, do some research. 4 astronauts is going out there and history's being made by one of them being black, one of them being non-American, a Canadian, and one of them being a woman. You know what I mean? There's 4 of them though. The other one I think is just American white man. The 4th astronaut, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, thank all y'all for tuning in. Thank all y'all for watching. You know what I mean? That's been a quick little recap of episode 375. That's everything we went over. You know what I mean? Everything I'd let you know. You know what I'm saying? Keeping you updated on this wicked world. You feel me? The beat you hear creeping up was made by none other than amazing beats. You know what I mean? The beat you hear creeping up in the background. You know what I'm saying? But thank all y'all for tuning in. Thank all y'all for watching. It's been Kons Podcast. See you next episode.
You hate me, don't you? me, don't you? You hate me, don't you?